Yo, what's going on? Mike from Mike Talk Sports. In honor of the UConn basketball team absolutely balling out in the March Madness tournament, I thought I'd make a video about UConn's most interesting player, Andre Jackson Jr. So Andre Jackson Jr. is a 6'6" shooting guard / small forward. He's 210 pounds, and he's from Albany Academy High School in New York. He was hyped up to be the best dunker in high school basketball, so his mixtape got a bunch of views, really hyped up going into UConn, and he's really fulfilled that hype. He's the team captain as a junior this year for this UConn team. So he's been a 2-year starter now for UConn, and I really thought I'd start this video off by talking about how Dan Hurley talks about Andre Jackson Jr., the head coach of the UConn Huskies. All Dan Hurley has to say about this guy is insanely positive things about his character, about his personality. Dan Hurley's a really intense guy. He's a guy that's not going to hold punches. So when Dan Hurley really goes above and beyond complimenting one of his players, I really do take it to heart because he's a pretty genuine guy. All that I hear about Andre Jackson Jr. is how great of a locker room guy he is, one of the best captains Dan Hurley has ever had. He's a throwback guy, according to Dan Hurley. He always uses that word when talking about Andre Jackson Jr., a throwback captain, one of those captains that every single day, it doesn't matter if there's a game. It doesn't matter if there's a practice. Andre Jackson Jr. is trying to bring this UConn team together. He has that leadership mentality of if one guy wants to go out to eat lunch, every single guy on the team is going to go out to eat lunch. If one guy wants to see a movie, every single guy on the team is going to see that movie. And that team chemistry off the court is so vital if you want to make a deep run at the March Madness bracket, which is exactly what UConn's doing. And a significant part of this is because of that incredible team chemistry and just the ability to not put a bad player out on the court, a player that doesn't have team chemistry with the rest of the guys, a guy who's going to shoot their team out of the game. UConn really does not have a player like that, which is so vital to their success. But really getting into Andre Jackson Jr. as a basketball player, as a prospect, projecting him into the next level for the NBA, it's really funny. I feel as though every single year in the NBA draft, there's 2, 3, 4 prospects that get the Kawhi Leonard comparison coming out of college. That really good high-end defender, that athletic wing that just really hasn't put it all together in their offensive game yet. Their shot looks a little wonky, and he just needs development on the offensive side. And I'm seeing a lot of Andre Jackson Jr., Kawhi Leonard comparisons going into the next level. Now, 90% of the guys that is projected to be this way in this type of prospect, I really think of guys like Josh Jackson coming out of college. But yeah, most of these guys end up not being a good NBA player. So it's not really a good comparison to have. Surprisingly not. Me saying it's not a good comparison to be compared to one of the best two-way players in NBA history. But in college, Kawhi Leonard was not that good of an offensive player. It took him years to develop his offensive game. I think this is a bit true of Andre Jackson Jr., but let me tell you guys why this is a bit of an unfair comparison and why his offensive game really deserves more analysis than just writing him off as a Kawhi Leonard developmental prospect at the NBA level on the offensive side. He averages 6.8 points per game this year, 4.5 assists, 6.3 rebounds on 42.6% from the field and 29% from the three. Obviously, that's not a great three-point shooting mark, but last year as a full-time starter, he shot 36% from three. So in my opinion, Andre Jackson does have it in him to be a good three-point shooter at the NBA level. Do I think rookie, sophomore, junior year in the NBA, his third, fourth year, he's going to be a really good three-point shooter? I honestly don't. I think it's going to take him a couple years to get there. Maybe year 5, year 6, he ends up being a really good three-point shooter. But if you can have him enter the NBA, really running that baseline like he does in college, spotting up for corner threes, really attempting 1 or 2 a game and hitting it at a 35-36% mark, which I do think he could do almost immediately going into the NBA, then the three-point issue really isn't an issue, because when you look look at the rest of his offensive game, man, it shocked me. I watched a UConn game live this year, and Andre Jackson Jr., I'm not even kidding, started the game for UConn 0 for 5. He was really struggling. So if you watch a bad Andre Jackson performance, you're going to kind of write him off as a guy who can't shoot. He has a bad shooting form, and what else does he do out there on the offensive end? Well, let me tell you, he does a significant amount of positive things for this UConn team on the offensive end. He runs that baseline extremely well. From running the baseline, obviously he's going to get some looks from the corner, but more importantly, on the block, he's so good at breaking a zone, especially when a team is playing a 1-3-1 zone in college. He's so good at finding that soft spot in the 1-3-1, really getting to the block and getting easy layups, easy floaters, easy mid-range jump shots near the rim. The most underrated part of his game by a significant margin, when you really start watching him, he's been so good in March Madness at this, is his passing ability. You look at a guard and you say, usually guards are only able to pass from the top of the key, pass as the primary ball handler. This is not the case with Andre Jackson Jr. at all. He's almost like a power forward center in terms of his passing ability. Again, he loves running that baseline, and from the baseline, he'll get the ball from the block, and he can make an incredible pass as soon as he touches the ball. It's like he has eyes in the back of his head when he's passing. His passing ability in the half-court offense is something that impresses me so much. I look at some prospects, and they're good at passing at the top of the key. They're good with a lot of space. They're good in the full-court offense. Andre Jackson Jr., when there's no spacing, when there's no shot to be had, he's going to create a shot for his teammates with 5 seconds left in the shot clock and find a wide open teammate. Andre Jackson Jr. is one of the more developed passers I've seen at the shooting guard position in a long time watching college basketball, which is crazy. I genuinely have high hopes for Andre Jackson Jr. as a passer. Not only is he good passing from kind of a center power forward position at the shooting guard position, meaning at the NBA level, once he gets to really becoming an off-ball player, he's going to be able to be a Markelle Fultz type guy in terms of penetrating the defense, kicking out to the open man, but not only that, posting up smaller guards and passing from that post position, which in my opinion is a very underrated, valuable skill set in the NBA to have out of a guard. And like I alluded to before with his high school days, he's really good around the rim, he has good layup packages, and he's a ferocious dunker. Ending the video, really getting into his strong suit, his defense. He has 1-3 switchability at the next level, which is such a valuable asset to have. He has that lateral quickness and strength and speed to really keep up with one guards at the next level. Two guards are no problem for him. That's going to be a strong suit, guarding that shooting guard position, closing out on guys at the next level, at the shooting guard position, who really make their life and their career out of spotting up and shooting threes. Andre Jackson Jr. is going to be able to close out on those guys really well. And at the next level, again, he's a young guy. He's 21 years old. Once he becomes 24, 25, 26, and really has that grown man body, he's going to be able to guard threes really well. And he's going to be able to bang with some fours down low potentially if he adds 25, 30 pounds to his frame 6, 7 years into his career. I really wouldn't be surprised to see him be a smaller guy guarding bigger guys at the next level, because he does have that defensive IQ and he does have that defensive potential. So I'm really excited about Andre Jackson Jr. and this UConn team, really hoping they win the March Madness tournament. If not, Andre Jackson Jr., I really like his projection going into the next level as a developmental prospect.